April 14th, 2003. A stolen helicopter screams across the Provençal countryside. Inside, armed men, bolt cutters, and a rope ladder coiled on the floor. Their destination is Louinez prison, a maximum security facility near Aix-en-Provence. But these men are not breaking out. They're breaking in. On the exercise yard below, 3 inmates look up. They've been waiting. They know exactly what's happening, because the man who sent this helicopter, the man who planned every second of this operation, is a fugitive who escaped from this exact prison 18 months ago, and he came back. His name is Pascal Payet, and to understand why a free man would fly back into the place that caged him, we need to start at the beginning. Pascal Payet was born July 7th, 1963, in Montpellier, raised in Lyon, settled in Marseille, and in Marseille's underworld, he found his calling. By his mid-20s, Payet had a wife, 2 children, and a criminal record that grew like a vine. Aggravated assault in '88 and criminal conspiracy in '93 were only the beginning. Police caught him in Paris in January 1999, and the court gave him 30 years, one of the heaviest sentences in the French penal system. 30 years. He would be in his 60s when he walked out, if he survived that long. And most men would break, grieve, appeal, or accept. Pascal Payet did none of those things. He started planning. But what Payet was planning would make history, and what he did after escaping would make him a legend. October 12, 2001, Louinez prison, a remand facility near Aix-en-Provence, not the most fortified, but still heavily secured. Concrete walls, guard towers, razor wire, armed perimeter patrols. None of it mattered. From inside his cell, Payet coordinated everything, using coded messages and trusted intermediaries outside. The plan was simple and insane. Hijack a helicopter, fly it to the prison, land on the roof, and leave. His accomplices seized a helicopter from a nearby aerodrome and forced the pilot at gunpoint to fly to Louinez. The pilot complied. He had no choice. The helicopter dropped low over the prison. Guards heard it, but couldn't react in time. The aircraft hovered over an inner courtyard, a blind spot between watchtowers. A bag of cutting tools fell from the aircraft, and Payet, with another inmate, grabbed them and sliced through a perimeter fence. A rope ladder unfurled from above. Payet grabbed a rung, pulled himself up, climbed into the cabin. Impoko followed. The entire extraction took under 3 minutes. The helicopter banked hard and vanished over the horizon. France erupted. The media went feral. A convicted murderer had escaped in broad daylight in under 3 minutes. Impoko was recaptured 6 days later. Payet was not. He disappeared completely. For 20 months, he stayed hidden, moving through the southern underworld like smoke. Louinez prison installed a steel anti-helicopter net over the exercise yard. Problem solved. Never again. Except Pascal Payet wasn't done, and what he did next, no one saw coming. Not the police, not the prison, not even his own crew. Any rational fugitive would vanish with a new identity and a new country. But Pascal Payet was not rational. Before his escape, Payet had promised 3 men inside Louinez that he would come back for them. Everyone assumed it was just talk. No one actually flies back into a prison they escaped from. April 14th, 2003, Payet's team hijacked another helicopter using the same method and forced the pilot to fly to Louinez. But this time, the prison had prepared. A steel anti-helicopter net stretched across the courtyard like a metal web. It didn't matter. 2 of Payet's men rappelled onto the net, carrying industrial bolt cutters. They sawed a hole through the reinforced mesh, installed to stop this exact scenario. Through that hole, a ladder descended, and 3 men climbed. Eric Alborio, Frank Paletto, and Michel Valero boarded the helicopter. The helicopter peeled away and landed at a nearby sports stadium where a getaway car waited. They vanished. French police were stunned by the audacity, describing it as military-grade precision. The media gave Payet his second nickname, Air Payet. The same prison, the same rooftop, the same man. But this time, he didn't escape. He invaded. The freedom didn't last. All 3 rescued inmates were recaptured within 3 weeks. Payet was arrested May 9th, 2003, in a rural cottage, alongside Paletto and an arsenal of weapons. He confessed to organizing the operation and the court added more years as his sentence kept climbing. But Payet was already thinking ahead, because the third escape, the one that would humiliate France on its most sacred national holiday, was already forming in his mind. July 14th, Bastille Day, the anniversary of the storming of the Bastille prison that gave birth to modern France. A day about freedom, a day about tearing down prison walls. The irony was not accidental. By 2007, Payet was under extreme surveillance, isolated and transferred constantly, rotated through dozens of prisons. Authorities believed no one could plan an escape under these conditions, but they underestimated him again. Saturday evening, 4 masked men stormed an airport, seized a helicopter, and forced the pilot to take off toward Grasse prison. The helicopter landed directly on the prison roof. 3 men jumped out, while 1 stayed aboard guarding the pilot. The 3 intruders moved through the facility with terrifying precision. They knew the layout perfectly. Every corridor, every reinforced door, every turn leading to Payet's solitary cell. They forced their way through multiple reinforced barriers, reached Payet's cell, extracted him, and ran back to the roof. The entire operation inside the prison took under 5 minutes. No shots fired, no guards harmed. By evening, the helicopter landed at a hospital helipad in Brignoles, and all 5 men disappeared into the night. The pilot, unharmed. Within an hour, law enforcement sealed the region, and helicopters took to the sky. France crowned him the king of the helicopter escape, but the crown came with a price. After fleeing, Payet changed his appearance and crossed into Spain. Hiding for 2 months, police tracked him to a coastal town near Barcelona and found him. He was armed, but did not fire. 69 days of freedom. Then it was over, for good. He was placed in harsh punishment conditions that shocked even visiting officials. His sentences stacked like bricks. Decades added one after another, pushing his total toward over 60 years. He was rotated through dozens of prisons, never staying long enough for anyone to plan another escape. Authorities reviewed his treatment and justified it because of his exceptional ability to escape. France upgraded prison security nationwide, adding aerial defenses and detection systems. An entire country redesigned its prisons around a single individual. He was paroled in April 2019 and began a quiet life working in landscaping. The quiet life lasted barely a year before he was arrested again for running an extortion ring. In court, he admitted his past was a disaster for himself, for his family, and for others. He killed a man, escaped prison 3 times, returned to rescue others, and forced a nation to change. Some people are built to exist inside walls, others to tear through them. Pascal Payet was both. That contradiction between violence and brilliance is what makes his story impossible to ignore. A helicopter can carry you over any wall, but it cannot carry you away from who you are. But Payet is not the only man who made a country look foolish. Another story begins. A tunnel, a motorcycle on rails, and the most wanted drug lord in the world. That story is next.